Good morning, good afternoon, or good night, and welcome to Command Power, the show in which we discuss all things Magic the Gathering with a focus on Commander.
And welcome to another episode of our card spotlight series in which I highlight a card that I think should see more play in Commander. But before that, just a quick reminder to click subscribe if you enjoy my videos. We're well on our way to 1 million subscribers and your support means everything to me. And today we're going to be talking about the card Indomitable Might. For 3 colors and 1 green, it's an enchantment aura with flash. Enchant creature. Enchanted creature gets +3/+3, and enchanted creature's controller may have it assign its combat damage as though it weren't blocked. So this is a very straightforward card. It does one thing, but it does that thing extremely well, and it can finish games in a massive hurry. For some reason, it's still only played in 1% of all decks, which I find very confusing since I often see people playing fairly Voltron-y decks or decks that have trouble closing out games in which this card would be very, very good. So its main purpose are in games that are stalled where you have a fairly big creature, and in those kind of games this becomes very good because you can surprise people at instant speed even if they've already blocked, and then suddenly they will have a ton of damage coming to their face, and if it's your commander it's often going to be enough to finish the game in one go. Sometimes your opponents will chump block your commander when they're at a pretty high commander damage total because they feel like you're already attacking and there's not that many pump spells that give trample in commander or anything like that. So this being a pump spell that kind of gives something better than trample in a way can be very relevant in those kind of situations. At least in my meta, people rely on blocking a lot, so this basically negating an entire block can actually be really crucial in a lot of situations. But it doesn't only help to finish the game or to close out games, it does still have the potential to save a creature, which isn't as useful necessarily, but can sometimes be really clutch as well. Again, since people rely on blocks so much, and people do tend to tap out a lot, again, maybe only in my meta, but that's what I've been seeing lately, this becomes much better than it might originally seem because +3/+3 is pretty relevant. Giant growth wouldn't be great in Commander, but +3/+3 that stays permanently becomes much better because suddenly you can win that combat, keep your creature alive, and kill what was gonna kill it. So the 2-for-1 you're opening yourself up to by playing an aura kind of gets immediately negated by the fact that you're taking out a creature at instant speed with this. Usually auras in Commander are very risky propositions because if your opponent responds and blows you out with something, then you kind of lose a lot of tempo. Even if they respond after taking damage for an attack, you're still getting 2-for-1 if they remove your creature and your aura for 1 card. But if you've used this with flash to trade up and take a creature down that you wouldn't have been able to take down otherwise, then this suddenly becomes much better because then even if they end up killing your creature and the aura attached to it, you've already got one of their cards, so it's still just a 2-for-2 and you're not behind on card advantage. It doesn't even need to go on a high power creature to start off with, although it's much better there to finish off the games. There are situations where you might not have much removal and there's a very dangerous card on the board and you can attack with your innocuous little creature into it. Your opponent might block with their big creature because why wouldn't they, and then suddenly you slap this on it and trade up, which also feels really, really good. The flexibility that this card provides is fantastic and it does make for some very, very surprising wins out of nowhere. And I think that it's a card that should definitely see a lot more play since green doesn't really have that many of this kind of tricky effect. So there you have it. Those have been my thoughts on this new spoiler. What do you think about this card? Please let me know in the comment section below. I read all comments and respond to all of them too. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to click like or subscribe. It really helps the channel. And until next time, take care. Woo!